The fluorescent glare of Terminal 3 at O'Hare International Airport cast long shadows across the scuffed tile floor. The typical symphony of rolling luggage, muffled intercom announcements, and voices from every corner of the globe filled the space. And yet, in that endless river of chaos and movement, the sharp metallic snap of handcuffs silenced everything. Camille Dawson stood motionless, a rush of cold washing over her wrists as the cuffs clicked shut. The sting from the steel was nothing compared to the sheer absurdity of what was unfolding. Here she was, a seasoned special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, being arrested in broad daylight in the heart of one of the busiest airports in the country. Arrested for what? Helping a lost child. "You are under arrest on suspicion of child abduction," came the low, arrogant hiss of the senior officer, whose badge read Sergeant Raymond Locke. His voice was loud enough for surrounding travelers to stop and gawk. The crowd grew in a hesitant circle, smartphones raised, brows furrowed. Camille, her heart pounding but her face calm, turned her gaze toward the source of this whole mess, a little girl, no older than 3. She stood a few feet away, blonde pigtails messy, pink dress wrinkled, clutching a teddy bear that had seen better days. Her tear-streaked cheeks made her eyes shine even brighter, and her lip quivered as she reached out toward Camille. The child's sobs grew louder, filled with confusion and fear. "I was helping her," Camille said firmly, her voice controlled but edged with disbelief. "She's lost. Her name is Hannah. She told me her mother went to get their luggage." "Yeah, they all say that," scoffed Officer Thomas Neal, younger, greener, and visibly uncomfortable but taking his cues from Locke. "Let's go. You can explain it down at the station." Camille tried to reason, her FBI training urging her to stay calm. But the crowd's murmurs, the child's escalating panic, and the officer's increasing aggression painted a portrait of something far worse than a simple misunderstanding. She knew it too well. This wasn't just incompetence. It was prejudice. Just moments earlier, Camille had been standing at Carousel 5, watching for her luggage after a 2-week assignment in Denver. She tracked a network of human traffickers across 3 states, finally putting the ringleader in custody. Now she just wanted to get home, change into sweats, and sleep for 18 hours. Instead, she heard it, a cry. Not the tantrum of a cranky toddler, but the raw, confused wail of a child in genuine distress. Her instincts flared to life. Camille spotted the girl quickly. Alone, afraid, clinging to a teddy bear as people streamed around her. Camille approached gently, squatted to eye level, and asked the child if she was okay. Hannah nodded through sobs, murmuring something about her mom's blue suitcase and being told to wait. Camille stayed. She kept a protective but non-threatening presence. Minutes passed. No mother. No one scanning the area with concern. Camille debated taking Hannah to the information desk. Then came Locke and Neal. Locke had the look of a man who had been doing the job too long and had long since stopped caring how well he did it. When he saw Camille, a black woman beside a crying white child, his expression twisted. He didn't ask questions. He just acted. "You. Step away from that child," Locke had barked, closing the distance with heavy steps. Camille turned, standing tall, professional. "Officer, this child is lost. I was going to take her to security." "Yeah? Or were you hoping no one would notice while you walked her out the door?" Locke spat, his voice dripping with contempt. Camille had explained. Repeatedly. But the more she talked, the more convinced they became of their own story. Her calmness irritated them. Her refusal to shrink angered them. And then came the handcuffs. As Neal twisted her arms behind her, she winced, choosing not to react violently despite her training telling her she could disarm both men in seconds. But that would only make things worse. "You haven't even asked my name," she said as they pulled her toward the station tucked behind the baggage area. "Doesn't matter," Locke said smugly. "We'll find out soon enough." Neal, slightly less aggressive, began patting her down. He retrieved her phone, keys, wallet. "You're violating protocol," she told them. "You never read me my rights. You never verified a single thing. This is a wrongful arrest based entirely on assumption." "Keep talking, lady," Locke muttered. Neal, flipping open her wallet, froze. First, he saw her driver's license. Then, deeper in the fold, he found it, the badge. Gold. FBI. Her credentials were unmistakable. His face paled instantly. The color drained and his fingers began to tremble. He handed it to Locke. Locke snatched it with a scoff, then went silent. His eyes moved from the badge to Camille's steady stare. He blanched. "Special Agent Camille Dawson," she said coolly. "Federal Bureau of Investigation." The silence was suffocating. Locke's hands fumbled at his belt, dropping the handcuff keys. He bent, grabbed them with a clatter, and shakily unlocked the cuffs. "Agent Dawson, This was a mistake. A horrible mistake." Neil stammered something about doing their duty, but Camille wasn't listening. Her wrists were raw, her dignity violated, and the sobbing child they ignored? Still crying, now comforted by a stranger who had seen it all. The child's parents appeared then, a flurry of panic and relief. Hannah ran to her mother, who scooped her up. Camille expected hostility, maybe suspicion. Instead, the mother looked at her with recognition. "You stayed with her? Thank you. Thank you so much. I just stepped away for our suitcase and then she was gone." The father joined in, shaking Camille's hand. "You saved us from a nightmare." Camille offered a tired smile. "Just glad she's okay." The family didn't seem to notice the officers shrinking behind her. Once the parents left with their daughter, Camille turned to Locke and Neil. "Names. Badges. Now." They gave them. She committed each detail to memory. Then she walked away, not with haste, not in fear, but with the poise of a woman who knew justice would be served. Outside, she called her supervisor, Assistant Director Brian Trenton. "Agent Dawson? Weren't you supposed to be off duty?" "Not anymore," she said, detailing everything. Trenton was livid. "Get home. Send the report. We'll handle it." And they did. The next day, memos flew through inboxes across departments. Video footage, witness statements, and Camille's report created an airtight case. The FBI demanded full accountability. Internal investigations moved swiftly. Locke and Neil were suspended without pay, ordered to attend mandatory training on bias, arrest protocol, and ethical conduct. Their careers hung in the balance, reputations stained. Camille received a formal apology from the Chief of Airport Police and the Director of Public Safety. It did little to ease the memory, but it was something. She returned to work, took on new cases, tracked new monsters. But every time she walked into a public space, she knew that badge wasn't always a shield. Sometimes it only mattered after the harm was done. But she would continue, not in anger, in resolve. Because truth, even when buried under bias and brutality, still has the power to rise.